It is episode 159 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast. I'm your host, Jevin LaFave. We got host Hayden Barton on the show as well. And we got legends of the show. My mic just unplugged here. Let me get back to that. We got Cory and Ian back on the show. So happy to have you boys. How are you guys doing on this beautiful Sunday evening?
I'm doing pretty good. Just, big chilling at home. Just that's what I got going.
Big chilling after you took down those bars last night?
Oh, so many. So many. I have to recover. You can't go hard all the time. You do need a little recovery, right?
Yeah, 100%.
He says as he drinks a beer.
This is a Coors Light. This is like a hangover beer.
Yeah.
It's Coors Light, everybody. Not Coors Heavy. We're going
I'll one up with the Coors Heavy.
Yeah. See, this is a hangover beer. This is the recovery beer. Jev, he's maybe got more plans than I do right now, so I'm just on the low.
Yeah,
Jevy's turning up on a Sunday evening.
Yeah, so I'm preparing for recording, the editing, and the discussion posts I have to do.
Damn, look at you. A busy bee.
Hell yeah.
All on the Lord's Day.
Papa bless.
What is happening here?
Having a bad time.
And while Jeff figures his shit out, Cory,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. It's been a terrible rainy ass day. Tried to run some errands. None of it worked out.
No, not at all.
Trying to get some new sunglasses, checking out frames. Didn't like any of them. Go to Costco trying to find some stuff that I was hoping they had. Didn't have my size. Didn't have the food I wanted. Fucking just big strikeouts.
I was also at Costco today.
What? I was at the one in Poco and everything.
I was at the one in Poco too.
All the way out in the boonies. What did you go for?
Shade and I, yeah.
You got a poutine. I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it. It was so good. But I also got this. I was showing the boys.
Oh, that's nice.
So that way, this fucking light I can give back to my dad and say it's shit.
Yeah, I think that might have been the dumbest installation on your part of all time.
I thought it would be okay because like I'm constantly moving and I didn't know
the motion sensor light
would go off in like 30 fucking seconds.
Yeah, it's a trash ass light.
It is. It's absolutely.
Did you upgrade to a clapper or what?
No, it's just a switch.
I feel like we should all get. I don't know why the clapper was a fad. That's the best. We should all have clappers. That's a fucking great light. Just
not when you're having sex.
Yeah, doing the deed is just flickering on and off.
That's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's good.
You better not be Anna. Oh fuck! What is it?
Just telling her pussy's haunted.
Oh fuck! What is it?
Epileptic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you're epileptic, you're having a great
she's
time.
coming. She's like, no, she's having a fucking seizure, but she's so into me.
Oh, she is loving this right now. I'm putting on a performance right
He's
now.
He's just looking in the mirror. He's like, I'm a champ.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's like foaming in the mouth.
Yeah, flatlined on your bed just because you just got the wrong idea.
Blew her back out. No biggie.
Is that good?
She's dead.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So anyways, I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. Nice, Cory. I love to hear that. Dad, how you doing, buddy?
Good. As we said, went to Costco today. Came back from the States today at 6 a.m.
Love that. How'd you shoot?
0 border wait time.
Nice.
Oh, it was lovely. And I did not get harassed by the Canadian border guard.
Wow, that's rare.
Yeah, I know.
Usually get harassed?
Oh, all the time. But luckily I got a here's my ranking. It goes like colored male Canadian, top of the list. Colored female. No. Colored female Canadian, the second. White male, like third, but like really, really bad third. And then white female Canadian, put as low as you can go. They will always try and undermine you and make you feel like a piece of shit for coming back into your country.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It's like, so what'd you go down for? It's like, oh, I went down to just say like, hi to my dad like on the weekend. Went to go say just anything. It's like, oh yeah, okay, where does he live? Oh, he lives here. All right, and how long were you gone for? And then the questions just start getting progressively worse and worse. Like, oh, so where are you bringing back? Oh, 12 beers. All right, yeah, let's pop the trunk. Oh, you're getting searched.
I've never had that happen to me.
Oh my
You must
God.
look suspicious. You're probably sweating.
Jev and I had that happen to us when we went down to see a Seahawks and the Packers game. We
Mhm.
came back and yeah, it was a white female. She just immediately like 2 questions. All right, pop the trunk.
Yeah, when I was going into Idaho, like going into the States, they were basically waving me through before I even gave them my passport. Like that's how kind of like much they didn't really care. And then when I was coming back into Canada, they were playing like 21 questions. It's like, dude, how about you just relax? Like it doesn't matter what I did, it's already been done. So why don't you just wave me on through?
Let me go home. I
Yeah.
live here.
Easy.
You tell me I can't come back?
Yeah, like what the
I'm
fuck?
literally a Canadian
Yeah.
citizen.
Dude, I
I
gotta
was-
get to work.
Yeah, I was like, this can't be happening right now. I just wanna get through, go home. It was like midnight when we were coming back. I'm like, let's just come on, please. I'm tired. But
Why are you tired? What have you been doing?
That would literally
Late.
be a question.
'Cause it's
Yeah, why are you
late,
coming
man.
back so late?
How many hours of
Because
sleep a
we're
night
on
do you
a-
get?
Have you
Yeah.
taken Metamucil tonight? Do you need some?
it's
You
just
ever take
absurd.
melatonin before? You fuck.
Oh, that's amazing. But
Jeff, how was the drive? You're in a
it
new
was good.
location.
Yeah, I'm in Dauphin, Manitoba. Nice little small town.
Yikes.
It's all right. It was funny though when I got here, the guy I'm staying with is like, yeah, so Dauphin's under a crime wave right now. I'm like, oh, love that.
A what wave?
A crime wave. Basically,
All
every
6 people there
Oh,
stealing from each other.
yeah, he was like, there's been some stabbings recently, and I'm like, I mean,
Just like
honestly,
home.
yeah, I'm like, that's nothing new. I think that's kind of a popular trend nowadays everywhere. And then he was like, but most of it's just petty crimes like car break-ins and stuff. And I'm like, all right, so where can I put my car? Because I don't want that happening to me.
yeah, they
He's
see
the
like a
one
British
doing it.
Columbia license plate and they're like, prime target. Yeah.
Fucking city slicker.
Yeah, but I got a speeding ticket on the way here.
Oh my
Those
God.
fucking Mounties got ya.
Yeah, I was just outside of Regina. I was only going like 20 over. Like it
Who's
didn't feel like I was who's she? Never matter. Yeah, but I was going 20 over, but I was like it was like the long ass drives where it's nothing but wheat fields on either side of you, and then all of a sudden the exit hits and there's a ghost car right there, so it's like slowing down. It's like didn't really happen quick enough. I was going 130 and a 110. So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that bad, but it was good enough to be $200. So that hurts.
Jesus Christ.
But
Yikes.
I got here and I was like, oh, that's bad. Like that's really expensive. And then I got here and he was like, yeah, Saskatchewan's probably like one of the cheaper areas. If you did that here, it would be like $400. I'm like,
Oh
400
my
for
God.
20 over in Manitoba. That's brutal. So I guess I kind of, in the grand scheme of things, it sounds like I caught a break, but still a tough way to start your 5-week practicum in a different province as a $200 speeding ticket. But what are you gonna do?
Is that your first
Leave.
ticket?
No, I got my car impounded in high school. So
Oh shit!
yeah, I was going 95 down coast, so that'll get you.
That'll do it.
Yeah. And it wasn't my car at the time, it was my dad, so he was without a car for a week as well.
Yeah,
Get Papa.
Sorry,
the
Paul.
the only speeding ticket I've got was going through Lions Bay. Because it's in Lions Bay, when you're going to Squam from like Van to Squamish, you go through Lions Bay and it's like 60. And I think I like was doing 80 and people were passing me and I got the ticket. It's like, fuck you, that guy's doing 90. What
Yeah.
am I gonna do?
Yeah, but that guy was harder to catch.
Yeah,
that guy-
exactly.
It's the Simpsons bit of just like a guy going that fast has no time for a ticket. We'll let him go, and then they just get moved. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the
You guys
annoying
clearly in a
thing.
hurry.
Yeah, the annoying thing is I was going like the flow of traffic, so if anything, cars were going faster than me as well, and I still got, and I was like, I didn't even think I was going like that fast because everyone was going the same speed. It's not like I was speed racing past every single car. Like
Mhm.
I was going the flow of traffic, and they still pulled me over, and I'm like, dude, why are you wasting your time? He's like, gave you a warning. I'm like, no, you didn't. And he's like, yeah, I flashed my lights on you, like back there. I'm like, I'm sure I would have saw lights flashed at me, but like I didn't, and he pulled me over. So
Bro.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, giving a warning is going up and saying, "Hey, you're 20 over, by the way. Like, drive safer." That's
Yeah.
a warning.
Yeah, it's like I flashed my lights at you. I'm like, when? I feel like I would have saw that, but
You should have
You
hit him with
calling me a
the.
liar, son? Gosh, shit.
Corey,
You
why
should
are
have
you
hit
so
him with
low?
the when.
I don't know. I was just fucking around.
Okay, yeah, because I just gradually saw your head go low. I was like,
Yeah,
what's
watch
Corey
this.
Oh my
Oh,
Oh, your desk is rising, isn't it?
it is. It's a standing desk.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, either you're sinking or your desk is standing. Oh, this is perfect. This is
I want to just be a
perfect.
mystery guest
Yeah,
on the pod today.
Corey's head looks like a fried egg, just the yellow yolk on a sunny side up egg.
Sizzling. I got some
Yeah.
sizzling takes.
All right, let's get started with the question of the week here on the pod. And Hayden, I can't remember if I've asked this before, but regardless, I'm going to ask it again.
All right.
If you were to play in any city in professional sports, where would you want to play that respective sport?
It's definitely
Um,
been asked, but
it has?
and
Okay, I
but
could.
like not on the question of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just ask it anyway. Who cares? We're already too deep into it. But
Exactly.
Ian, where would you play? It doesn't have to be hockey, football. It could be like any sport. Like what city would you like to play in?
See, I like warm weather, and I do like the beach, so probably LA. I'm
Okay.
that guy. I don't like the cold. People who know me, and I don't like the cold. I don't like snow. And I mean, Jevin, you probably know Winnipeg doesn't even have an airport, right? So like, how am I supposed to go play in Winnipeg? Like,
I mean, regardless, I just don't think anybody wants to play in Winnipeg, even if it has the nicest airport of all time. But it does confirm have an airport. So shout out to
oh,
that. Yeah, it has one of those. It has one of those. So that's pretty cool. But yeah. So
I'd say LA.
LA's popular choice.
Yeah.
Corey, as another guest of the show, where would you play?
Can't go wrong with LA, but I feel like I want to do like San Diego. You know, I still get the California, but like I feel like people leave you alone a little bit more. You get to like live a little bit more in anonymity a bit under the bright lights playing in LA. Because yeah, like warm weather places, it's definitely the route. Like I'd love to say like Green Bay because it's like a great sports town, or you know what I mean. Like you go
Yeah.
play in New York or Boston or one of those places where it's like they live and breathe sports, or some shitty southern U.S. state. But it's like I don't want to live in the South, and I don't want to live where it's cold because I'm making millions of dollars. So I guess Dubai. I want to play on the Live tour.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah, I was
say,
about
yeah, Saudi Arabia. You know,
Yeah,
they
I
gave
was a
me
golfer.
They gave me 100 mil up front. So now I just fuck around on weekends and swing a club. Nah, probably
Yeah.
San Diego. I want to go San Diego. A whale's vagina.
The thing is, like San Diego's
It's from
a popular.
Anchorman Hayden.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah.
And the thing is with San Diego, it's a popular vacation spot, so that means it's actually got some stuff to do other than just standard California.
They got a whole zoo.
Whoa.
The San Diego Zoo.
I was gonna say
complete
the
with
zoo.
fake rocks.
No, the zoo rocks. The zoo's cool. I'll vouch for the zoo in San Diego.
Confirmed
There we go.
rocks.
I'm gonna be the face of the zoo.
Confirmed animals at zoo.
Confirmed.
Or
Tiger,
Dare.
Oh, let's
lion, bear.
Hayden, I forgot what you said when I asked this earlier, so we'll just go to you. Where would you play?
Probably Detroit or Winnipeg. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I was like,
He doesn't drink
whoa.
water anyways, so he's safe.
No, it was that's like the highest crime rated cities, I'm guessing, in like both Canada and America, I think. So
You got to
it was
be
a
up there.
joke. It was a joke. I think Arizona, the
Yeah.
desert.
AZ would be dope.
Unbearable
Cheap.
heat in the summer.
Oh, very unbearable. But you know, every place has an air conditioner, and
Yep.
everything's so cheap there, kind of like Texas, except it's not Texas.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's not as humid. It's all dry air, so the golfing must be amazing.
A lot
Yeah,
of
I've heard.
cactuses.
Cacti.
So cacti.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I think Arizona, even though all of their teams are shit.
Doesn't matter. That means cheap games.
Doesn't matter. I get paid a lot. Let's
Yep.
go, baby.
I'd play in either Nashville or like Dallas or something. I feel like Dallas,
Music City.
Texas
Nashville
would
be fun.
cool. I've just Nash Vegas. That's what I've heard. It's very similar. It's got a bunch of bars and like the strip is leading up right to the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. So I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's where I'd play. I've always wanted to go there. So
Ballin'.
bowling.
Great choice.
I know. All right. So this is a very specific pod because the NHL playoffs are starting tonight when this comes out. Yep, it's going to be an early
What?
upload. Instead of Wednesday, we're going to be uploading on the Monday because the playoffs are starting tonight. And we're going to do a little preview pod, go over the awards that have been awarded and the ones that are going to be awarded pretty soon. And then we're going to go over each playoff matchup, and then we're each going to give our Stanley Cup final and cup winners as well. I am going to start. The Anaheim Ducks have officially clinched last place in the league and have gotten the best odds to draft Connor Bedard. So confirmed they did it correctly. They lost their last 13 games of the season in regulation and got it. So
Nailed it.
talk about committing and doing it right. This is the year to do it, boys. This is the year to do it.
Noise.
Here, Jevin, the one issue I have with Anaheim, if they possibly get Bedard, is listening to Scott.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Fucking, I hate
Scotty-
Scott.
Scotty K, if he,
I didn't even think about that, Ian.
I know. This is my nightmare. Like, it's in the back of my head, like, nightmare situation is if this happens.
Fuck.
Do you guys
We're
think
done.
Anaheim gets the pick, or do you think it's going to be like Chicago or Columbus or
Vancouver,
those
actually.
those 3% chances are going to live up, baby?
Yeah.
Like I said,
hey,
like I said last one, TSN did a mock draft where the Canucks were in it between them and Columbus. Unfortunately, Columbus got it, but
I'll take second.
I wouldn't take.
Fine.
I wouldn't mind taking second. Yeah.
I would love second
Absolutely.
overall. Anything in the
No-
top 5, I would take in a heartbeat.
No shame in silver.
Amen, brother.
Especially in this draft.
I mean, there is shame in silver. There's no shame in bronze.
Oh. No shame
Yeah.
in
Bronze means you won the game to win that medal. Silver means you're a
Lost.
loser.
Yeah,
That is
You got a
true.
That's
loser
exactly it.
medal.
yeah, that's exactly it. You got to win to get the bronze and lose to get the silver. So, who's the happier bunch of guys, or who's the happier squad?
Right? Definitely bronze. Definitely
100%.
bronze. No one, you look at like the guys who win a bronze, they never look sad.
Yeah,
So they're like, fuck
Yeah.
yeah, we just fought for this fucking medal and we got it. Silver, they're all like trying to throw it away.
yeah.
What was it? Was it
Elias Anderson,
Elias
I think.
Anderson, who was like, I don't want this fucking medal.
Yeah, you
Yeet.
get in the crowd. You got in mad trouble for that too.
Turns out he can't play in the NHL. So what a bum.
Yeah.
Should have kept that medal. It's the only thing
Yeah.
you're ever gonna win.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Maybe if he's playing like as he's a healthy scratch for like the world championship team, maybe he'll get a medal for that or something like that. But One quick thing. Luke Hughes got called up after the Frozen Four loss to what was it, Quinnipiac?
Yeah,
the
what was he
Qui-
playing? He's playing for Minnesota, and they lost to Quinnipiac.
in the final, but Michigan. He played for Michigan,
Oh, he
right?
played for
And
Mich-
I think they lost to Quinnipiac in the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. So after that, he signed his ELC to play the rest of the season with New Jersey. And in some of the few games he played, he scored a career goal. So shout out to Luke Hughes.
What happened with their camera?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's hiding. Well, there he is. Who's that little guy there? Hey, buddy. He looks so cute. Yeah, Luke Hughes. I like so they're just starting him. They're like just like, yeah, you're part of our top 6 in the playoffs. Like, that's a bold move a little bit.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
bold strategy. We'll see how it plays out. No,
We'll
I
see
think.
how it plays out.
I mean, I think there's something to be said for him just being a good player. Like, even though he's young, he's still raw on the NHL level. But like, just trying to add talent at the end, going into the playoffs, and people want the Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes content too.
Yeah.
Easy.
Try and
Yeah, we-
shelter him and play him on the power play. Just be like, okay, here you go.
You get 10 minutes a night, 3 of it on the power play. Don't fuck it up.
Try not to ruin it.
Yeah, I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. I feel like it would have just been more worth it for him to just start next year so they don't. Does he burn in a year of his ELC if he plays?
I don't know if you lose it if you play in the playoffs.
But
I
and
don't
I
know
think
I don't know if those
I-
games count towards it.
well, and I don't know if how many. I want to say there has something to do with how many regular season games you play too.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
it's like,
but-
if you play like 7 games or something, or if you're on the team for at least 7, I think it is, you burn that first year.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he has an extra bit. Then never mind. So the end of the season has come, and Connor McDavid has won himself the Art Ross and Rocket Richard Trophy. A year after everyone was saying Matthews over McDavid because Matthews scored 60 goals.
Stupid.
McDavid then comes back next season, scores 65 and gets 153 points and just shoves it right back up their hoop. So confirmed, Connor McDavid
What a
is good.
bum. Man, that Winnipeg
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. Yikes.
So bad. It's not good right now. Not
I think
good.
we all knew what you were talking about how great Connor McDavid is. We all say yes.
Yep. Also, I only think he scored 64 goals. So I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought it was 65. Never mind.
he didn't
Counting the goal he's
score-
going to score tonight.
What? Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot.
So
So-
the awards to be announced
Hey.
are, I guess, the major awards.
Tonight, good, yeah.
The Hart, Norris, Selke, Vesna, Calder, Jack Adams, and Ted Lindsay. The Hart Trophy, I'm pretty sure if it's not unanimously chosen to be McDavid, then some voters should get their vote taken away. Do we all agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
He'll win it. No other choice.
The Vesna. Do we think it should go to Allmark? I think it will go to Allmark, but do we think that he should win it?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Okay. Because
I
I
think he's asking us if Ulmark should win the Vesna. I think yes.
do you guys
Ooh.
seriously can't hear me right now? Is it
Yeah, you
cutting
keep
out?
cutting
You were
right out.
frozen for a while.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna start
God.
calling you Elsa.
This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough. Maybe I'll turn my Wi-Fi off. Maybe that'll help.
Let's just do this one without Jeff.
I'll send him the recording.
Yeah. Just
Easy.
edit 3 of us, and you can talk over us and pretend.
How am I now? Can you hear me? Am I
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I was thinking with Allmark, he's played limited games. Swayman has very similar numbers to him in terms of the games he has played. And I think Saros and Sorokin have carried their teams a bit better than Allmark has. So do we think other goalies are more deserving or do we think Allmark is 100% deserving of this award?
I don't know
No.
about 100. I was gonna say I don't know about 100% deserving, because I do think you threw out guys like Soroka, and Connor Hellebuck has to get some love in there.
Mhm.
Like I don't know if it's a unanimous for Allmark. I think I'd probably pick him, and I'd say he gets it, but I do think it's closer than some of the other races we have.
I agree.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that the only other goalie this year that you consider giving it to, because it's not like who's the best goalie in the NHL, it's who had the best season, right? So the only other guy is like Sorokin. Like you look at that Islander team and you're like, without him, no chance they make the playoffs this year. Like every other goal, but like Ullmark being part of that Boston team that is record setting, and his numbers were better than Swayman's all year. So it's like he didn't have because they're both good. So you don't have to ride a guy, which is, something that not every team has the luxury of, but the numbers he put up this year were stupid. So I think I don't think he's the best goalie in the NHL, but I think he had the best season.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think he's the best goalie as well. I just think like in terms of top 5 save percentage and like goals against average, the Swayman and Allmark in the top 4 of each
Goals
category.
against is what he's going to say, I bet.
Oh, that's
Am I seriously cutting out again?
Right when you talk.
This is so annoying.
Yeah. It's only when you give your opinion.
Zoom's trying to tell me something.
yeah. I think this is Zoom saying that Allmark shouldn't be the Vezina winner. Right?
Yeah, it hates him. It's
Cory,
racist.
the same way you feel about Sorokin is like the same way I feel about Hellebuck. I don't think the Jets are in there. Like,
yeah, but they just
for the
squeaked in.
last
Also,
bit.
that's the other reason why neither will win it this year. It's like both their teams are like
just squeaked it.
just getting in there. It's like,
Yeah.
if you were better, this wouldn't have happened.
No, exactly. And I don't think
That's
Jake Ottinger should get
definitely.
someone too in this
Really
vote, by the way. I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close. I think like you're not going to have like a runaway winner for the Vezina, but I think Ullmark, because the season the Bees had, squeaks it out.
That's fair. I'm going to try and keep this quick. The Norris. I think it'll go to Erik Karlsson, but another kind of controversial opinion. Do we think other defensemen deserve it over him?
Yeah, he's gonna I hate that the Norris Trophy is just what defenseman scored the most points, because it's such a silly Erik Karlsson, his team is trash, right? So it's like, how great of a defenseman can you be? It's like you put up all these numbers, like he should be a plus a million, right? Like all his numbers should be through the roof, and he had a great year, and it's nice to see him bounce back. And he's gonna win. Just be like, what, 103 point, like something stupid, right? Like just an insane amount of points for a defenseman to put up. So of course he's going to win, but I don't know. Like I look at the other guys on the board and it's like, I would rather have Adam Fox this year in terms of like a kind of all around defenseman. But I think Karlsson takes it home.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about last week as well, where it's like Karlsson, amazing offensive defenseman. Adam Fox, probably the better defenseman all around this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should go to Fox, but I don't think it will go to him.
I don't know who votes on the Norris, if it's writers or I think it's the writers of the media who vote on the Norris. So I'm sure there's probably going to be some legacy picks being made with Karlsson too, of just like, this is the last chance this dude is going to have of getting probable real Norris recognition. And so
the bounce back that he's had from his injuries and all that makes it more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, as much as it is hey, he scored 100 points, he had a great year, it's also going to be a legacy pick of this guy, had a resurgent year, phenomenal guy, all that sort of jazz too, when you have him up there.
No, 100%. I think, there's such a weird line. I do think it is a heavily narrative based award this year, just because of what Ian and Cory were saying. His resurgence is going to play a big part in him getting this award, I think. But in terms of overall defenseman, I think like guys like Darlene or Fox have had better all around years.
Even Josh Morrissey,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
I knew I was missing the name, and Josh Morrissey was the exact name. Like I
And
think they've had better all around years in all their except Buffalo's, but they were closer to the playoffs than San Jose was.
well,
Mhm.
and I was gonna say I don't. I mean, I think he's more of an analytics guy, and I mean, like we talk about Boston, they're a loaded team. Hampus Lindholm has had a really good year too. Like
mhm.
with looking at the advanced numbers, if you're with that guy, if you look at the advanced numbers, like he's had a really good year. He should get some, some love there. I don't know that he will, but just another name to throw out there too.
He'll end up getting like a couple third, fourth place votes kind of thing, right?
Yeah, him and like Vince Dunn are gonna get that kind of like
Yeah.
lower some love, but like not real. Like we
Yeah.
don't actually.
Who is 12th in voting? Right? You're like, there he is.
Boston, realistically, besides maybe the Calder, could sweep every single award. The Hart, no, obviously besides McDavid, but with Pasternak, he had an MVP type year. Norris, Hampus Lindholm's had a very solid year.
Mhm.
Selke, Bergeron, Vesna, Allmark, Adams, Montgomery, Lindsay could have gone to Passa as well. Like they could have like almost swept the entire board. But do we agree that for the Selke, Bergeron's name is clipping first? I feel like whenever he's in the league, it's pretty consensus to put him number one. But I mean, he keeps proving it time and time again. But who's your pick, and who do you think should get some recognition towards this award?
I
If you
mean,
guys understood me at all, I don't know if I'm like cutting out or anything.
we actually heard you that time. We actually heard you. You were good. You were good. They should probably just rename it to Bergeron right now. Like they should just call it the Patrice Bergeron Award. Like,
Yeah, at this point, it probably will at some point.
probably, but like he's got what 2 more now than like the next closest guy. So like you should just give it to him already. Like just give it to it. Like just rename it. It's his to lose every year.
That's how it seems to be.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost chalk every time. It's like, oh, Bergeron's in the league. Okay, give it to him. Give it to
Yeah.
him.
Like I'm looking at just like rankings on how they would do it for like updating on the Selke trophy. It's like they ranked it from November, December, January, like all the way through. It's like Bergeron takes up like a majority of the month.
Yeah, it's absurd.
But another like the top other 2 names are Elias Pettersson and Nico Hischier.
Yeah, they've
which-
had really solid years, especially Petey.
especially
And-
Petey.
And ever since like his first few years in the league, or like his first couple of years, I had just a strong feeling that Pettersson would get to the point of maybe when Bergeron retires, or if he dies before he retires. I don't know what's going to come first. I think Pettersson's going to be in the mix for a majority of his career in the Selke mix because of his two-way play. And now that he's broken that 100-point barrier, he's proven like to break out offensively, and he's really solid on both sides of the puck.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to see what steps Pettersson takes in the next few years with this award.
Pettersson should win it this year over Bergeron, by the way. Why
Another
not?
player who
Yeah.
I think has done
Like-
well is Jordan Stahl.
Yeah, but he's old. Leave him alone. Leave
So-
that old loser
so is
alone.
Bergeron.
Yeah, but Bergeron's a winner. Bergeron probably ends up winning it because I don't know. I feel like everyone's gonna vote for everything Bruins just because of the season they had, and you're like, and he is like he's their leader and he's the guy. But like sometimes you look at like their numbers and it's easier to be that guy when you're surrounded by all-star talent from the
Mhm.
top to the bottom of your lineup. The Canucks are trash. It's a garbage team. And you look at Pettersson and you're like, how does he put these numbers up? Like, how do his numbers look so good on a team that's bad?
Yeah.
I know it's not a team-based award, but come on, like what would Pettersson have had to do this year? But he plays on a bad team on the West Coast that writers don't watch. It's the classic Canucks never win anything unless it's like an automatic award where it's like, which goalies had the best numbers this year? Perfect. There's the award you win.
Yeah.
Who scored the most points this year? Perfect. Here's the award you win. They never win They'll never like Pedersen would have to have 150 points to win the Selke, put up the same numbers and still score that when he goes to be like, wow, look at that two-way presence. You're like, he was the top 10 scorer in the NHL and still puts up elite defensive numbers this year. He should win. He should win, but he won't.
Yeah.
He won't win.
I know it's really annoying. The only one I can really think of is Henrik winning the Hart and Kessler winning the Selke. Like Luongo didn't. He got like some Vezina votes, but he didn't win it.
Garbage.
And I can't really think of anything else where any Canuck was like, in that
like Kessler won
race.
when the Canucks were the best team in the league. Like unless like they don't look, that's the thing. It's like, is your team good? They're like, okay, then you can win a Selke. Like, that doesn't really show you what.
Yeah. That's like,
like the Bruins were the best team, so obviously they have to win all the awards. And you're like, I guess so.
Yeah.
So let's just play that. If their coach wins the fucking Jack Adams, it's so stupid.
Well, we'll jump to that next because he probably will. But who do you think should
Why?
win the Jack Adams?
Anybody but him. I could coach the Bruins. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, oh, just who's going to go out next? I don't know, the perfection line. You're like, great. What are you talking about? Your goalies are putting up all-star numbers, both of them. No, like, what are you talking? Like, oh, David Krejci and Patrice Bergeron came back. You'd be like, that's all coaching. You're like, what? Fuck you. The four of us could close our eyes and coach the like. What are you talking about coaching? By the way, in the NHL, you not barely drawing plays. You have a power play specialist for that. Get bent. Oh, the best team probably has the best coach. You're like, he has the best team.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Easy money.
Look at a team who wasn't supposed to do as well and be like, maybe he should win.
No, I agree. I think is Detroit's coach Ian
Derek Lalonde.
Yeah, like he like coaching that team, like
grew.
Like they had a really good year. Like they kind of went above expectations. Woodcroft, like they had a really good year, but I mean he has McDavid and Draisaitl, so people are going to immediately go to that as well.
DeBoer for the Stars.
Yeah.
And it's a team that people expected some out of, but not that much. Because you got to give it to a team that is in the playoffs generally, right? Like,
yeah, typically.
You can't win Coach of the Year and your team failed. Like, he did his best.
Yeah,
did his best, everybody.
I think you have to go with Lindy Ruff in New Jersey because people were booing and yelling for him to get fired at the beginning of the year.
Very first game, and now he's got the team in the playoffs in a I don't know if it's a favorable matchup, but it's a matchup. Like they're in the playoffs, and I think they have home ice, if I'm not mistaken.
They do against the Rangers.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, just by like a couple points or something, right?
Yeah, that's Coach of the Year material right there. There you go.
Yeah, I actually like that pick for Ruff instead of Montgomery because, like Cory said, it's my 6-year-old nephew Logan can fucking, or I guess me and Hayden's nephew can fucking coach the Bruins to the President's Trophy.
Like no one thought the Devils were going to be this good. The other guy I think is what's his face in Vegas, Cassidy.
Bruce Cassidy.
Right, like that team had like so much injury issues all year. And
like Eichel and Stone played like 50% of the year almost. Like a bit more or a bit less.
What about what's his name in Arizona? Like if you really wanted to like galaxy brain it of just like like the Coyotes, like
they won way more than they should have won.
Yeah,
literally. And like where's the galaxy brain of like Andre Tournier or what? Like he's got to get some recognition for making Coyotes, for getting them not in last place. That's got to be that's got to mean something, right?
One of the best quotes from Clayton Keller is like when he said, we just know that the managers are pissed at us because we're going on a 9-game heater right now or something like that.
100%.
The GMs are probably like, we tried to make this team so bad and they just were so much better than we thought.
Still bad.
Yeah, but like instead of 25%, they have like a 7.5% chance at first.
Wild. I think as a giant troll move, the writers should all vote for Bruce Boudreau for Coach of the Year.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
Bruce, there it is.
One of the interesting awards, the Calder.
Boring.
I don't think like any rookie had exceptional numbers, but Stuart Skinner, like he played pretty well. Like he took over that number one role. Mind you, I think Jack Campbell played himself out of it. And then they were kind of forced to go with Skinner to be like somewhat sturdy in net, but Skinner still played pretty good. Matty Beniers had a really good year. But do we think it goes to Beniers or do we have another name in mind that it goes
I was
to?
gonna say Skinner.
Beniers.
I'm just Seattle guy, so I got to go with Beniers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Beniers takes it. That's all we have to talk about the Calder, right?
Yeah.
Not a very exciting year for rookies. Like solid rookie seasons, but like, yeah,
Yeah, nothing exceptional.
no one really wowed me.
Yeah.
Beniers
then,
like solid, like great. I wish the Canucks had him, but
is what it is. The Ted Lindsay, probably going to McDavid. So we'll move on to playoff previews here, and we're gonna start off in the Beast. We're starting in the East, and we're going to give the President's Trophy winners their time because it might be the quickest preview that we have. The Bruins and Panthers.
Last year's President's Trophy winning Panthers.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Hayden, did we talk about this last week about Huberdeau's drop off, or did we talk about that after we recorded? Because Huberdeau has set the highest, I guess, point.
I mean, it could be
in-
reinstated.
Yeah, the highest point drop off in NHL history went from 115 points to 55 points.
Oof.
Just a tough break from the guy. And he signed an extension before this year, so the next
Good for
year
him.
should be
Get
exciting.
that money.
Yeah, he made the right decision.
Suckers.
Made the right
Guaranteed
decision.
contracts.
But the Bruins, they finished 65-12-5 for a record-setting 135 points, and the Panthers finished 42-32-8 with 92 points. The Bees took the season series 2-1-1. What do we think about with this series? Ian, I'll go to
Bruins
you.
win in 5. Oh,
I mean,
Thanks,
Hey.
Hayden. No, Hayden said what I was gonna say. No, but this might be the. I don't want to say sweeps because sweeps are so hard to predict. This series would be more competitive if it was the Bruins Islanders. Like the Islanders, I think could actually pull off the upset against the Bruins. I don't see that with the Panthers. I don't know what the pathway is for Florida to beat Boston.
yeah.
There isn't one.
Yeah,
I mean, injuries, I guess.
no. Alex Leon needs to play out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Stonewall.
Absolutely.
I don't see any realistic pathway for the Panthers to win this series. So I'll take Boston in 5, but I'll give.
They're all going to be low scoring. Like I'd bet the under 6.5 every game.
I'm calling the sweep Boston in 4 just to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Florida and sit. No, I'm kidding. I'm thinking Bruins in 5, and the one win Florida gets is gonna be like the Montreal Canadiens win against Tampa in the Stanley Cup final when they won Game 4 in overtime, where I feel like Tampa kind of just treated it as a write-off game, and if they win, they win. So,
I'd love to see.
did you guys understand me there, or did I cut out again?
Yeah, we got you. You did good.
All right. All right, I'll take it. So yeah, I'm Bruins in 5, and it's going to be a squeak out win for Florida for the one game, but could be entertaining.
I'd love to see Florida win game 1, and then the Bruins just come back and annihilate them 4 straight. It'd be so funny.
That Michael Jordan, I took that personally.
Exactly.
And I took that personally.
Yeah. All right, so that one was quick. We're going to talk about the Islanders and Hurricanes next. The Islanders went 42-31-9 for 93 points. The Hurricanes went 52-21-9 for 113. The Canes took the season series 3-1-0. Hurricanes, few injuries throughout the season with Pacioretty and Svechnikov, and then didn't do anything big at the deadline. Meanwhile, the Islanders lost Barzal for a big stretch of games, but they're getting him back for game 1. They acquired Horvat naturally, and then they went on a 10-game span of averaging a goal and a half per game. while Sorokin stood on his head for a big portion of that, and they played themselves into the wild card 1 spot. So this series is probably going to be very boring because it's two defensive teams going at it. But Cory, I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts on the Islanders versus Hurricanes?
Give me the Islanders in 6. We're going to call them the Hurricanes because every year these losers, people think they're going to win the fucking Stanley Cup, and every year they fail. And they go out and they try, we'll make a big move. We'll bring in Max Pacioretty. We'll pay zero anything to get him. We have all these assets and all this money we could use at the deadline every year to bring in pieces to help push this team over the top, but we refuse to do it. So every year we get there and people think this is the year, and the goaltending continues to be suspect, and you lose one of your best players. And so now what? You have to play a team that is built for the playoffs. The Islanders are like a shit regular season team and the perfect playoff team. An all-world goalie, maybe the best goalie in the NHL, who's having a fantastic year, and a team that just wants to like drag you into the mud with them and beat you 2-1 every single time. I think that the Hurricanes are obviously should win. They should beat them. They're a better team. They have better players, but I think the Islanders do it in 6.
I really like that. I'm gonna kind of just piggyback off that because I have Isles in 7. And I just think it's really going to come down to goaltending because Carolina feel like they can't really solidify that spot yet. And I just don't know if they're deep enough. And Islanders, they just find ways to impress in the playoffs. They're the definition of we just got to get there. And once they get there, then they kind of find they flip a different switch and they tend to battle teams hard. So I got the Islanders in 7.
Give me the Canes in 7.
I respect it.
I like the Islanders, and for every reason that Cory said that the Islanders should win, I agree, except I'm going to try and go different. I don't know. I just have a gut feeling that the Canes are going to pull this one out.
Fair enough.
But this will be their only series win.
Ooh. Okay.
Here's the thing. I think the Islanders are gonna win. I want Carolina to win. Like I really I think that's I like Brendan Moore. I like the team. They just they haven't got past the second round since they won the cup, I believe. Like they have a bad streak of not getting it past the second round. But it's the Islanders. I would feel stupid to be on if the Islanders if I bet on the Hurricanes and the Islanders win the series, I would feel stupid for not betting on the Islanders.
Yeah.
I would feel like such an idiot. So it's I'm going to take the Islanders in 7 because I think they do it. I think they pull it out.
What do you think is the driving force behind New York besides Sorokin? Because that's kind of the easy way out.
I know it's somebody has to step up, whether it's Barzal, whether it's Horvat. There's got to be a guy who's going to step up, who's going to take charge. And God knows the Islanders, it's going to be Casey fucking Zizekas for all I know. Or
Kyle Palmieri.
Yeah.
Is Anders still on the team? Because this feels like an Anders Lee scores 5 goals or whatever. This is just somebody has to step up. I know they're not that team to be a one-man show. That's not how the Islanders like to play. Somebody has to step up to score offensively. And it might be Horvat, might be Barzal, might be Lee. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But somebody on the Islanders is going to get hot offensively, and they'll carry them through the first round.
Sebastian Aho's definitely going to win the series. Take it to the bank.
Yep, that's a fact. I was about to say, dude, you're contradicting yourself, but then I forget that there's 500 there's 5 Sebastian Ahos in the fucking league, I swear. I think it's gonna be Big Cock Brock. He's gonna carry the Isles to the promised land. Besides
Brock Nelson could have 5 goals in 6 games, and that's just the Islanders. It's
JG Pajot there still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot he was on the team.
They had a lot of
I'm-
guys who can be clutch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be that sicko and say, like, watch out for Matt Martin or Cal Clutterbuck or any of those guys. Like, I'm not going to be that guy, but, like,
You are
it's
going to be that guy.
it's somebody like Paul Mary or like Cizikas or like Anders Lee or like, just like somebody you don't expect is going to pop off, and that's what's going to push the Islanders over the Hurricanes.
As a quick little offshoot, Casey Cizikas must be the face of some little like restaurant on the island, right? Like Casey Tzatziki or something is like a whole little thing. There's got to be a thing there, right?
Long Island, Casey Tzatziki.
Yeah, little restaurant called Casey Tzatziki's.
I just know like some outside investors are praying that he has some Greek in him so that they can try and whip up
Right?
a business
Just a
plan.
little bit.
Yeah. Just be like, yo, we can make so much money off your name besides selling jerseys. Let's get this going.
Yeah,
How
let's
many
get this bread, but it's just pita.
Yeah, like how many people are buying Cizikas jerseys anyways? Like he can't be making a lot of money off the jersey sales,
So he's
right?
got those Casey Tzatziki jerseys that he sells. It's got Greek pillars on them. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a Corey, you should kind of get on that. You should DM him on Instagram before
Yeah.
anyone else does.
I'm gonna get a hold of Opa.
Yeah. He should at least be a spokesperson, minimum.
Right? 100%. I don't know if he's charismatic at all, but he could say Suzuki.
Tough word to say. We're gonna go to New York and New Jersey. New York is 47, 22, and 13 on the year for 107 points, and the Devils finished 52, 22, and 8 for 112. Yeah, the season series, New Jersey took it 3-0-1. Lots of inexperience from New Jersey, but they're a very fast and young team. New York slowly built up that playoff experience with some heavy hitters on paper, but it's all of a matter of can they actually live up to their names. Hayden, I'm gonna go to you first. What do you make of this Rangers Devils matchup?
It's gonna be tough for the Devils to beat the Rangers. Like you said, they're a young team. Rangers built up a lot of playoff experience. Man, I really want to take the Devils because they're such a fun team. But when playoffs come down to it, goalie play is going to be just an absolute need, and that's why the Rangers are going to win in 7.
I like it. But it's not going to be Shesterkin. It's going to be Yaroslav Halak. He's going to carry them.
Oh my God.
It's always who you least expect, and it's going to be Yaroslav Halak this year.
Agreed.
Take it to the bank. McNaughty, what do you make of this series?
You said the season series 3-0-1 for the New Jersey Devils over the Rangers. I'm going to take the Devils in 5. Like
Devils in 5. Wow.
Devils in 5 in that there's something about a team, you have success against a team, you continue that success. The thing about with the playoffs too is that you really get to know your opponent real quick, real fast, real quick, and you got to find that matchup that puts you over the top, whether that's Casey Cizikas or whoever, whoever that guy is. But I always trust Lindy Ruff. I'm not saying he's a better coach than Gallant, but I trust Lindy Ruff in this situation to find the right matchup, to find the right situation to get the Devils over the Rangers. And I'm going to say in 5. I'm going to say it happens fast and the Rangers are just slow to the punch.
Wow. All right. That's I like that spicy little pick there. Cory, what do you think?
Opposite. Rags in 5. Rangers in 5. The Devils they're young and they're fast and they're fun. But when do we ever see in the NHL a team that is like, we just got in the playoffs for the first time, look at all our cool young talent, do well? they always get smacked around a little bit because you're like, oh, what? The refs put the whistles away, and what's this team that's kind of done it for the last couple of years and had to like push through? The Devils are just the Rangers 3 years ago. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that the Devils next year, I think, have a chance. I think everyone, they're the favorites and they did better. And it's like, first of all, Shesterkin is maybe the best goal in the NHL. Like, he's top 3 kind of thing, right? It's Sorokin, it's Shesterkin, and it's Vasilevsky, and put him however you want him. But they have better, like, I like the Rangers defensive core better than I like the Devils. I like their goalie more than I like the Devils goalie. And then up front, you're like, yeah, maybe like the exciting talent, like your Jack Hughes of the world, is more exciting and younger and more fleet of foot for the Devils. But I don't know, the Rangers, like, yeah, Patrick Kane is not the Patrick Kane of yesteryear, but who knows if he can find a little bit of an extra gear in the playoffs. They brought these guys in to like add that secondary scoring in the playoffs, or if a line dries up. And so, sure, maybe the Devils are deeper 1 through 12 up front in terms of scoring ability, but I don't know. I think the Rags, they move past them easy in 5. Just they're going to come through and just kind of have their way with them a little bit and be like, maybe next year, guys. Pat on the head and send them on their way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, but I'm gonna go Rangers in 6. Just to be a little different. I was kind of hovering between 6 and 7, but I think Rangers in 6. I strictly think that Shesterkin's just gonna outplay Vanacek, and I don't know. I just think that the talent, I like the Rangers' depth a bit more. And I think the Devils kind of came down to earth after their very, very hot start at the beginning of the year. And I don't know, I just like have this funny feeling that experience is going to play a big part in this. And the Rangers just simply have kind of know a bit more of what it takes. And I think the Devils, regardless of the result of this series, have had a successful season because I didn't have them making the playoffs. Hayden had them making the playoffs. That's like the only person I knew that had the Devils to make the playoffs. But they had a very successful season. I think that's why, besides Timo Meyer, which is considered more of a long-term move, I think, but I think this is why they didn't really trade for any rental players, because they're like, we're just gonna see how we do with this team, and then I think we're gonna try and seriously make a run for it next year. So very young and exciting team, but I think the Rangers take this out because I kind of trust every level of their team a bit more than New Jersey's. And yeah, so I got the Rangers in 6. The next series, last series of the East, a rematch. Tampa Bay and Toronto. Tampa Bay finished 46-30-6 for 98 points. Toronto finished 50-21-11 for 111 points. Toronto has the home ice this series. Toronto took the season series 2-0-1. Not much to say about this series, but besides, I think it's just going to be just as exciting as the rest of their matchups have been. I always look forward to this matchup, the blue and white series. I think it's going to be very exciting. Ian, I'm going to throw it to you first this time. What do you make of this series between TO and Tampa?
Well, there's the low-hanging fruit of Toronto in the playoffs. That's the big story, obviously, of, can Toronto get past the first round? What if Tampa doesn't get past the first round? What if Tampa doesn't win? What are the Lightning if they lose to Toronto in the first round? Like, I think that's a real interesting talking point, considering the Lightning have not been as good this year as they have been in years past. There's going to be, I think there's going to be some people who make the like, oh, you lost to Toronto in the first round joke. And then it's kind of like, what are you? What's your team? That's, I think, an underrated storyline in case Tampa doesn't win. But I'm not putting my money on Toronto in the playoffs. I got the Lightning in 6.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's very hard to really judge this series because I think Toronto's the better team, but I just don't know if they're like it's just so hard to trust them. But Hayden, I'm gonna go to you now. What are your thoughts?
It's so hard to trust them. Like Ian said, Tampa in 6. I think they'll make it in 7.
Tampa Bay in 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also Tampa Bay, very sneaky Braden Point 50-goal season.
Very,
Finished
very
the season with
sneaky.
51 goals. I think that flew severely under the radar, and he had a very good year. And unfortunately, their new trade for Tanner Jeannot, he's going to be hurt for the first bit of the playoffs. I believe he has a knee injury. So that kind of sucks because he's a very playoff-like player. But Cory, um, what do you make of this T versus T
Probably the most
rematch?
exciting matchup of the first round, I think, in terms of like watchability, you know. Toronto is a better season. Are they the better team on paper now? Like after, years of trying to get there? And Tampa, like you're right, like what is Tampa if they lose to Toronto in the first round? Be like, I don't know, tired, I guess, from winning all those cups.
Yeah.
It's like every team has a shelf life generally, right? Like no team can stay at the top for that long. And Tampa Bay has been at the top of the mountain for what, the last 5 years, basically. They're basically in every Stanley Cup final. They win a couple, they lose a few. Like, it's you can't stay there forever. Kucherov still had like 115 points this year, something silly.
Yes.
Like he's still all world.
I also don't think he cracked 30 goals. Like I think he had like 27 goals and he had like a billion
a million
assists.
assists.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like
Probably feeding Braden Point for all those 50 goals that he had. That's probably what he was doing.
like I was like I said earlier, it's like, does Patrick Kane maybe have that extra gear in him for the playoffs as an older player? Do the Tampa Bay Lightning have they just learned to be like, we'll fluff our way through the regular season and we'll still be a top team, still be one of the better teams in the league? And then it's like, we know what we have to do once it's like LeBron James in the playoffs. He's just trying to get through a regular season before the real season starts. The real season for the Tampa Bay Lightning is the playoffs, right? Like they don't give a shit that they made the playoffs. Like, so, okay, this is, of course, we're in the playoffs. We're here every year, baby. So I think if it's not Toronto in 6, it's Tampa in 7, because there's no way Toronto can win a game 7 against the Lightning will beat them. But does it get there? I'm gonna go Tampa in 7. I'm gonna keep the curse alive for Toronto hilariously. I just want it to happen. So I'm gonna will it into existence that the Lightning are gonna win this series in 7 games. After Toronto's gonna go up 2-0 in the series. And everyone's gonna be like, oh, Toronto, here it is, baby. The media is gonna go wild. It's gonna be wall to wall on Sportsnet. And then then the Lightning are going to win. I hope Toronto wins game 1, game 2, game 4. And the Lightning like get one at home in game 3 and then just beat them the rest of the way. That's what I want. That's what I want to happen for this series.
I was gonna say the other thing I want to bring up with Toronto that kind of almost infuriates me. Every time I watch Matthews and Marner in the playoffs, those guys don't have that like playoff style, like gritty intensity, toughness that you need to have. Like you have to get in guys' faces. You have to be face wash. You have like, I know that's not their comfort zone. I know that's not what they do well at. But in the playoffs, you have to be that guy. If you want to go all the way, if you want to, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and you have to get in their face, and you have to treat them like shit. And they haven't. They don't. That's not who they are, and that's what's really tough to support. Because I like those guys. They're really talented guys, really talented players. They just don't have that playoff intensity or that grittiness that you see in other guys. And I could be completely wrong. Maybe it comes out this time. Maybe they, show it to me and I'm wrong. But that's one of the things that infuriates me about rooting for them or trying to pick them, is that they just don't have that playoff intensity.
They're going to get roughed up by Chernak and Bogosian, and Hedman and, like those guys on D. And then they're going to like Maroon and Killorn, like Belmar and Colton, like those guys who are just that kind of gritty, edgy Tampa Bay in the playoffs, fucking in the face just a little bit after the whistle. And it's just going to wear them down, baby, wear them down. And then game 7 and Toronto and Mitch Marner's gripping that stick just a little too tight. And the Lightning's like, we're here every year, baby, no problem. Whoosh, win.
Dub City.
I was so close to picking Toronto, but I think you guys can talk me on to the other side. I think I have to go Tampa Bay, and I'm gonna say Tampa in 6.
Ooh.
I was gonna say Toronto in 7, but then I just thought about it more, and I was like, they're gonna finally do it this year. Not like I want them to lose as much as the next person because I just love Leafs Twitter after they lose a playoff series. But I was like, they're gonna finally do it this year. I just think like it can't go on forever. But I just keep thinking about how much more like depth Tampa has, and I just kind of trust them a lot more. Like in a playoff series, because Matt Murray, he's a walking bend, he's a walking IR, like
It'll be
Tristan Jarry.
Samsonov, right?
No, I know, but like I'm talking about the depth at goaltending.
Yeah.
Like Matt
Gotcha.
Murray, he's out right now. Who knows if he's going to be back? So like if Samsonov goes down, how long can Joseph Woll be solid in the net for? He was solid in the games he's played this year. But how long can you like keep that up? Like how much of that is legit? And I just trust Tampa more. And they might be more tired. They might be a bit more inconsistent. But I mean, Toronto has a ton of talent. It's so like, when I think about it more, it's just so hard to like not pick Tampa against them. I don't know. It's such a hard series to judge because they're just two completely different teams. Like Toronto's filled with skill, but I just think Tampa's more filled with like playoff type players, and they've proven it more. So I think until Toronto wins a series, I'm gonna officially lock in Tampa in 6.
Lock it in.
Are we
Toronto
all
can't afford to get it to 7. That's what I think.
Are we all taking the Lightning?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zap.
I was gonna be different and take Toronto, but I just like thought about it more and more, and I just like the more I thought about it, the more it just seems so dumb to pick Toronto.
Just Jevin, think back to all these years past when Toronto would lose game 7 after game 7 after game 7. And it's like, why do I think this? Like, I don't even root for this team. It's like, well, why do I think this team is going to make it out of the first round? They're not. Maybe it's different, but too many times I've seen this team lose in game 7. It's like, no, I can't. I refuse.
Yeah, I think they're a type of team where it's like, I'm not going to bet on you until I see it happen. And yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. But who do you guys have in the Eastern Conference Final? I don't know.
The easy route. The Bruins coming out of the East.
In the Eastern Conference Final, I think it's going to go Boston, Toronto, like Boston, Florida, and then Toronto, Tampa. They play in the second round, and then it's Islanders, Canes, Regs, and Devils. They play in the second round.
Rangers, Bruins.
Yeah, that's my pick as well.
I think I had Tampa Bay making the finals at the beginning of the year, so I'm gonna say Tampa Bay, New Jersey.
Ooh,
no Boston.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say Boston and Carolina. I'm just kidding. I just want to see if you guys are remembering that I said Carolina was only gonna win the one series. I'm gonna say Boston, New York as well.
Boston, New York.
With Boston winning.
We'll go to the West here, and we're gonna start with the team where I'm gonna be attending a playoff game. Jets, Golden Knights. The Jets are 46, 33, and 3. They finished with 95 points. The Knights clinched the Western Conference with 51 wins, 22 losses, and 9 OT. 51, 22, and 9 with 111 points. Vegas swept the season series 3-0-0. Cory, back to you, boss. quite like a very interesting series, I would say. I think it's probably one of the more interesting series in the entire playoffs. But what are your thoughts on Knights versus Jets?
Feel like the Jets are the team I pay the least amount of attention to in the entire NHL. There's something about that I just don't give a shit about the Winnipeg Jets. It's so hard for me too. They've got good players. Connor Hellebuck's great. Josh Morrissey's great. Like they have like two maybe or in the top 5 of each position for like defense and goalie, right? But I'm going Knights. I don't know. I don't know what Winnipeg's going to do to win this series. The Knights, they need this. They keep just pushing in for it every year, and I want them to be rewarded for really trying every year to do everything they can to win a Stanley Cup from the jump. There's like, screw it. I don't need these draft picks. I don't need prospects. We'll just keep figuring out ways to put you on LTIR, and we'll make the magic happen. Is Stone? Is he coming back for round 1?
I don't know.
He's
On his like
practicing.
16th back surgery, so I have no idea what his situation is.
I think he was practicing the other day.
Yeah, I saw him on the ice practicing. He was in a no contact a few days ago. So I don't know if he's like going to be ready for game 1, but I think they're trying to get him back. They're just, I don't know. The Knights are so deep. They have they've got a great weird lineup. I don't have any real reasoning behind it, but I think the Knights are going to win it in 6. So I'm going to go with Jack Eichel getting it done, showing that he deserved to be traded for all that stuff.
Yeah, first playoff appearance for the kid. So shout out to him. McNaughty, what are your thoughts?
Can I take Knights in 3? Similar to Boston, Florida, I just don't know how I don't know what the pathway is for the Jets. Like, unless Hellebuck gets really hot, but you can say that again. Hot goalie, it's the cliche, it's chalk. You can say that for anything, but I don't know otherwise how the Jets beat Vegas. I don't see it. I don't know how it happens. I got Vegas in a sweep.
Vegas in a sweep.
Wow.
All right.
Love it.
Hayden?
Yeah, I think this is the first like real upset. And I think the Jets are gonna win in 6.
6.
Yeah, Connor Hellebuck's gonna stand on his head. Scheifele, for the prick that he is gonna get underneath the skin of every Golden Knights player. And yeah, I think the penalty kill for Winnipeg is what shines in this series.
All
Like,
right.
That's what'll be like how Vegas doesn't win.
I respect that. Well, I'm a Winnipeg supporter for the next 5 weeks, so I'm gonna go Winnipeg in 7. I don't know. Winnipeg is just such a weird team to me. They're either like just very like
They were atop of the West in January.
Yeah, they're very like disappointing. It would exactly what I'm saying. It's like they have real highs and then very real lows. But I don't know. I just find them like really weird in the playoffs. That home crowd is gonna be buzzing for games 3, 4, and 6. And I think it's going to lead them to the promised land, and then they'll catch some fairy dust in Vegas and close it out in 7.
Boom.
I don't know that that's fairy dust, just Jevon. Yeah.
Javon.
Giovanni.
I don't think that's fairy dust. That might be something else in Vegas that you
A nice hit of cocaine.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're going skiing in Vegas.
We're going skiing in Nevada, boys. Or the powders are really good this time of year.
Yeah. All right, we're going to another very interesting series. I'm just gonna call every series in the Western Conference very interesting because a lot of these matchups I have no idea. But Minnesota versus Dallas. The Wild finished the season 46, 25, and 11 with 103 points. And Dallas finished 47, 21, and 14 for 108 points. Dallas took the season series 2-0-2. Jason Robertson setting the Dallas Stars record for points in the season with 109, passing one of the greatest American players to play, Mike Modano. down the stretch, Minnesota had very solid goaltending in Fleury and Gustafsson. Kaprizov is coming back from injury, but Dallas just seemed to be clicking all year. But Hayden, gonna go to you now. What are your thoughts on Mini versus Dallas?
Dallas in 5.
Dallas in 5.
No respect.
There's no Minnesota's goaltending tandem is good, and I think it'll win them a game. But I think Dallas's is just better. Like we're saying, Ottinger for Vezina, right? Why not?
Yeah.
I think that's
Ah,
all it needs to stand for.
cool. Ian, what about you?
I remember, I don't know, like within the last month, I've seen the NHL standings and be like, Minnesota number 1 in a sense. That doesn't seem right. I'm not. I don't know if it's quite on the same level as Winnipeg, but Minnesota kind of irrelevant in my opinion. Of just like, I don't know who all plays for you guys, but you guys somehow get 100 points every year, and you get a 2-3 in the Central Division playoff matchup. Well done. I don't think either one of these teams are going to go that far, but I will take Dallas in 7.
Dallas in 7. I think that's very respectable. I like that amount of games. I'm gonna go Dallas in 6. I just kind of trust Jakey Poo in the playoffs a bit more. I think Minnesota's goaltending's been very sporadic. The Gus Bus has been very solid. Shout out to Minnesota for making that trade, by the way. Very solid, and Cam Talbot in a return. But Gustafsson's been very solid, but honestly, a few games to end the season, he's been kind of very iffy. And I think he might be catching a cold spell at a bad time, where I just think Dallas has been very solid through and through this entire season. And Minnesota's track record in the playoffs hasn't been amazing. They've been very one and done the past few years. But I just like Dallas's all around build of their roster. Shout out Jamie Benn. He's been playing very solid this year. But I got Dallas in 6. That's the route I'm taking. Even though I said Minnesota might be a very sleepy team to go far, but that was when they were catching fire in the tandem, and then they kind of slowed down. And it might be a very competitive series. A lot of the wins might have to be edged out by either team, but I think Dallas in 6.
Minnesota in 7. Minnesota
love
in
it.
7. I want to be a little different here. I don't know. I think this is like a very toss-up kind of series. I think Dallas should probably win, but I don't know. I'm going to give it to Minnesota for no real good reason. I think goaltending, Gustafsson's numbers were better than Ottinger's. Ottinger played more games, but it's nice that Minnesota has the tandem that you can kind of go if a guy, like if Ottinger gets a little cold, you're not pulling him, right? So you're just like, fuck, I hope he turns it around. Whereas if Gustafsson has kind of a dull game, you're like, hey, Fleury, can you get in there? See if you can make a little magic happen for us. If you still got a little left there in the tank. Kaprizov is all worldly, right? I don't know. Flip a coin, and I'm going to go Minnesota in 7 because you all picked Dallas.
This series feels very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
agree. It could be a sweep for either team, and no one's that surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could say like, oh, did you see like Minnesota like swept Dallas? Like I didn't see it, but for
they
them,
were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see that game. Weird, huh?
They're gonna be the late game every single night.
Well, it's gonna be, and it's also gonna be the game that you're gonna watch like in between channel surfing. Like, oh, I guess I'll check this for a little
this one's
bit.
on commercial.
Yeah.
Flip it to this. The Minnesota North Stars.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Dallas or New Dallas.
Yeah, it's gonna be very like anticlimactic. I just don't really know what. I would be more surprised if Minnesota swept than if Dallas swept. So I think that's what leaned me towards Dallas. But like, if either team wins, I'm like, cool, I could see it.
Yeah.
But I could just picture seeing like a Dallas 4-0, and I'd be very shocked if I saw Minnesota 4-0. But it's good. Yeah, it's gonna. That's why I said very interesting. Ian, I'm going to you first with this one. The Kraken versus the Avalanche. Seattle finished 46-28-8 for 100 points. The biggest improvement from an expansion team in NHL history, with a win improvement of 19 wins and point improvement of 40 points. Colorado finished 51-24-7 for 109 points. Seattle took the season series 2-0-1, sipping on that Kraken Kool-Aid over there. In my top left corner is Ian McNaughty with a big old grin on his face, based in Everett. McNaughty, what do you make of this series? Seattle in 2? Is that what you're going with?
Oh, come on. No. I was gonna say, remember at the beginning of the year I did call the Kraken to make the playoffs, and you guys were both you guys are both, giving me some slack for it, which fair enough at the time.
I also had Vancouver making top 3 in the Pacific, so I probably has the biggest laughs towards me.
Hey, we all don't get it sometimes, we all have our misses. I really want to see the Kraken go far. I think it's cool. I think it's a really great story, seeing how well they've done this year compared to last year. The Landeskog effect is interesting, of him not taking part in the playoffs.
What do we think went wrong there? Because they were like hoping he would make the playoffs, and then next thing you know, he's not coming back at all. Like, it was supposed to be 3 months, then 6 months, and then playoff return, and then out of the playoffs. It's like, is he gonna file grievance or what?
I don't know.
Something must have gone wrong.
That's one of those like weird things where, like, the guy, like, teams like the kind of bullshit injuries of just like, oh, it's like this will take 6 months to recover, and then he comes back in 3 months or whatever, like, LTIR. Where this is like the opposite of like, oh, it's like 3 and now 6 and maybe a year. It's just like it feels really weird. It feels kind of bizarre. I think Colorado's a good enough team that they can overcome that. Like, they've showed it all year. So I'm gonna say Colorado in 7. Like, I think it'll be a really tight back and forth series. If Seattle can get the goaltending, I don't know from who. This is a group hour revenge series, obviously, but if Seattle can get the goaltending, it's going to be even closer. I'll take Colorado in 7 over Seattle.
That's respectable. Cory, Big Tasty.
Dumbest thing I ever heard. There's no way this series goes to 7.
Oh, come on.
Bless Seattle's little hearts. Hey, great turnaround. No one really thought like they'd be doing so well so fast. So that's great for Seattle. Them making the playoffs is a win this year. Like, that's seasons. It's great. It doesn't matter. They could get swept in 2 and it's good enough. They're happy to be there.
Very similar team to New Jersey, in my opinion.
Yeah. They got in there quicker than people kind of thought they would, right? New Jersey obviously looked a little better at large points and has better top end talent that's ready to kind of go, but it's not going to be close. I don't care that Landeskog's not. If Landeskog was there, they'd crush you in 4. But they got like Lekkonen's been out for a while now. Manson's been out for a while now. Both are going to be back. Makar's been in and out of the lineup. I think he's healthy going into the series, or like, will be healthy enough that he's going to play. So it's like they've got the full complement back of a team that just won a Stanley Cup. Like, they're very good. There's zero chance that Nathan McKinnon lets this get to 7 games. Like, he's just gonna punch someone in the face through the net for a goal somehow. I don't know what he's gonna do. Rantanen's so good. This is the only other series that I think could be like a sweep. I know they didn't win the regular season series of it, but it's just the experience of it all. Is like, who does Seattle have that's gonna like step up in their first playoff series to be like, no, I got it. I guess Jordan Eberle, but he's only done that internationally.
Ever heard of Daniel Sprong?
Yeah. Power play specialist, baby. We cannot play him 5-on-5.
No.
Yeah.
He is a very big liability, but man, is he good when we have the advantage. I'm gonna go Colorado in 4. I'm gonna go with another sweep here because it's fun to predict a sweep. They don't happen a lot. But I think this is gonna be a case of, like we thought, like maybe the Rangers can overmatch the Devils in that like experience factor. I think it's this, but more skewed.
Yeah. I'm going to go Colorado in 5. I'll give Seattle 1 game, but I just strictly break it down to like Seattle's goaltending, whether it's Jones or Grubauer. Whenever either goalie has a 8 after the decimal, I just immediately don't trust the goaltending in the series. And like I'm looking at the numbers right here. Grubauer's save percentage is 895. And like Gorgiev's numbers aren't incredibly better, but I just trust him more to like make the easy saves where like Grubauer will let in a muffin here and there and just like really deflate the entire team. And yeah, I just like break it down to Colorado's more high powered offense, but I do think Seattle at moments could give them a tough matchup. But breaking it down, I just think Colorado is going to be too much for them. And because like Colorado just comes in waves and it's just like sometimes it's so hard to stop. So I think in 5, and I think Seattle wins 1 at home. Game 3, I think Seattle takes, but it should be very fun to watch. Hayden?
Colorado in 4.
Ooh, sweet.
Ooh, Ian's about to fight. This is the start of Ian's revenge story.
They're going down.
Let it happen.
Down. Hell, baby.
Come at me.
Do you have anything to add on the series, Hayden?
No, you guys broke it all down. There's nothing more I could really add other than just, McKinnon's not letting anything happen.
Yeah. Nathan McKinnon, like the final stretch of the season, like the final 20 games, holy shit, that guy was like a different animal. He had like 12 goals in 13 games or something like that, and he was just turning it on. First 100-point season for the kid, too. Shout out.
Papa's gearing up for the playoffs,
Oh, yeah, the dog's about to eat right now. And the final series of the West. The Edmonton Oilers versus the LA Kings. Los Angeles finished the season 47, 25, and 10 for 104 points, while Edmonton finished 50, 23, and 9 for 109 points, set the NHL record, or the highest power play percentage since a certain date. I can't exactly remember the date, with 32, just under 32.5% on the power play. Had the most shorthanded goals in the NHL, if I'm not mistaken. But the season series was tied at 2-2-0. I don't know who to go to first, so I'm just gonna turn and point. Hayden, I'm going to you first with what do you think about LA versus Edmonton?
I think it'll be a good series. Inevitably, I think Edmonton will win. I think Edmonton will buckle down and fix their mistakes against LA. I don't think Korpisalo is good enough, and if they have any power plays, Edmonton does. It's locks.
Yeah, it's wraps. So how many games did you say?
I think it'll go 6 games.
6 games for Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very respectable.
It could even be 5 if they're on the verge of winning, like for their 4th game at home.
Yeah. No, that's very solid. I just got your text. I understand you have to head out. So before I toss it over to anyone else, who do you have in your Western Conference final, and what's your Stanley Cup
Western Conference, I have
final
a big
matchup?
I have a big upset before. I think the Stars are going to take down the Avalanche. I think Ottinger's going to fucking cook. But then I think Edmonton is going to beat Dallas and meet the Bruins in the finals. And that will go to 7 games. 24 goals will be scored. But in the end, it'll be Edmonton winning.
I love it.
McNaughty.
I love it. I love it. All right, Hayden. You can plug your socials or whatever before you head out if you want. If you
My socials are at Hayden_Barton on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm back on TikTok, back on the grind for nothing. I just like memes. But this will be well, it won't be, but this will be the last episode that I'll be on when I'm in, or until I'll be in Mexico. Be taking a hiatus,
Dios mío.
non-paid vacation off of Left Side Heavy. So
No
many,
benefits.
many cervezas, por favor.
oh,
Excuse my Spanish.
absolutely.
Sunscreen, bud.
Oh yes, I already
Milk.
have button 2.
Lots of
okay?
2%,
Yeah.
baby.
Milk, man.
But with that, Left Side Heavy listeners, I bid you adieu. And for the rest of this episode, YouTube bottom screeners on my screen, make it great, please.
Used to say, have a good trip.
I can't wait for your guys' takes. I'm not gonna listen to this until Friday when I'm on the plane.
Perfect.
Love
Boom.
that. Deuces,
All right.
buddy. Have a good trip.
Deuces, guys.
Later, Hayden.
Peace.
Have fun, bud.
All right.
Finally.
And then there were
God.
3. Yes, he's finally gone.
Kid's the worst. I don't think he can read.
He texts me. He's like, my mom keeps messaging me. Meanwhile, I was texting his mom to tell him to get the fuck off.
Yeah. Can you tell him
Yeah.
You only paid me for an hour and a half. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Hayden gave his take. Ian, I'm gonna go to you now. Oilers Kings. What are your thoughts?
Oilers in 6. When they played last year, I'm pretty sure LA was running out of gas by the time they got to game 6 and 7. I think it'll be similar to that this year. Oilers in 6. I want to root for LA. I think LA is a cool team. I want to root for them, but I just this is not a good matchup for them. Not anytime you have to go against McDavid and Draisaitl for 7 games. That's the closest thing to hockey's Hell in a Cell is having to go against those guys in that situation. There's just no feeling great about it.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I just Edmonton just has so much, and I think they made it to the Western Conference Finals last year, and I think they only got better. So I think it's going to be they're on a different mission this year. So I respect where you're coming from. Cory, what are your thoughts?
Yes. I want to pick LA, but I don't think they'll win. I love that they've got Kopitar and Danault down the center to slow down McDavid and Draisaitl a little bit. And I don't think they steamroll them in the series. I think LA will do a good enough job, but I don't think they're gonna. I'll go Oilers in 6, and I don't feel good about it, but stupid Oilers building with their shit team builds all the time, just lucking into otherworldly players.
No, that's
still a poorly built team.
That's the greatest thing about the Oilers. It's this year they finally have the depth. It's you mean Ryan Nugent-Hopkins finally scored 100 points for you the one time? That's the depth. Oh, you think that, and you think he's gonna replicate that next year? Fuck off! No, this team's
not a chance.
No,
they still suck. They still suck. Yeah. They're a mediocre defensively. They're a little bit better than they've been because their goaltending hasn't been a complete sieve. But I would love the Kings to beat them. But I don't think the Kings I don't think they can keep up in the goal department quite yet. I think they got some young Kaliev and Byfield and Velarde and those guys. They're just not there yet if they're ever going to be. And Kopitar's too old. I think if this was Kopitar 5 years ago, then it'd be closer because he would still be legit elite Kopitar that we've known for the last, 10, 15 years. But I think he's just a little older now. He's not quite the guy he used to be. Still great, but Doughty's a little older. You know what I mean? If you could give me some of these Kings back in their prime a few years ago, I think they win the series, but they have too much old and then too young to, I think, get it done.
That's fair. I'm gonna hop on the same train and make it a complete sweep of Oilers in 6. We all went that direction, which I feel now it's not going to be that at all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Even better if the Kings win the series.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I just have this weird mojo from Edmonton where I just think they're on an absolute mission this year, and I think a lot of things are gonna go their way. Like I said, they went far, and their team I just think got a little bit more solid. I think they got better defensively. I think their goaltending improved. Like Mike Smith was either you're getting a shutout or he's letting in 6, where I just think just couldn't trust it. Where I think Skinner he's been really solid this year, and Jack Campbell, like he sucked. Like he was probably one of the worst starting goaltenders in the entirety of the NHL. But over the last few weeks, he's at least like started playing a little closer to his to the worth of his salary, I guess. Am I cutting out at all? Did I cut out there at all?
You did, but we knew what you meant.
Where did I cut out at?
That he's been playing. You said that he's been like at least getting closer to what his salary pays him in terms of effort and play and results.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's coming at a good time just before playoffs. And I think if they can carry that, then I think it's really gonna mean a lot. I think Ekholm is playing a big part, and they got, I think, almost like every single forward they have has over 10 goals. So I think their depth has gotten better. So I'm gonna go Edmonton in 6, and I think it won't be like a dominating 6, but I think
Edmonton in 6.
I think Edmonton will look really good.
Yeah, that's fair. That's how that should happen.
Yeah. All right, Ian, I'm gonna go to you. What's your Western Conference final?
Colorado and Vegas, and Colorado wins. In how many games do I think they'll win? I'll take Colorado over Vegas in 7.
All right, and what's your Stanley Cup pick?
What did I say? I think I said Colorado over Tampa at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna stick with that. I really want Tampa to win too, because I think the Lightning dynasty is actually really fun. It's kind of cool. You don't see it in hockey, but again, you still get like in my world, you get a repeat with Colorado anyway. So like now you have like the part 2 with the Avs and the Lightning. So yeah, there's some good storylines there. But I'll say the Avs beat the Lightning in 6.
I like it. Cory?
I'm going Knights, Avs, Knights in 7. They get over that hump. They've been just bumping and clawing and trying to get to a Stanley Cup final here, and they get there. And no one picks them against the Bruins, because that's who I have going through in the East is the Bruins over the Rangers. And everyone's going like, perfect season for the Bruins, baby. Perfect season for the Bruins. Nothing can ruin it. Tom Brady going to go 18-0. And then the Knights get it done. Your Vegas Golden Knights finally match up to their gold jerseys and take the gold home in a silver trophy. But you know what I mean? I'm going Knights over Bruins in 7 in what will be one of the greatest Stanley Cup finals of all time.
Nice. That would actually
John
be a very...
Quick in the redemption game.
Oh
7.
my God, that would be amazing. That would be the best thing ever.
That's right.
I think what would make it even better if it was like LA Vegas in the Western Conference final.
I want that so bad.
Possible,
I want it so bad.
I don't know if that's possible.
If LA beat, not in the finals, they would need round 2.
Yeah.
LA would have to beat if Vegas and LA win their first round matchups, they'll play.
No, but I'm talking about I'm talking about like Western Conference final. If they played there, that would be the best, but it can't happen.
Stupid NHL rules.
I know
for the playoff formats now, but whatever. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Knights.
Nice.
Winning it all. Mark Stone.
My Western Conference final is a rematch, Colorado Edmonton, but I gotta go in the other way. I think Edmonton's gonna win it in 7.
Gross.
And then I think they clean out the Rangers in the Stanley Cup final. I think the Rangers put the Bruins to bed in the Eastern Conference final.
Ooh.
And I honestly might be doing it just to be different, if I'm being completely honest.
That's the best.
So I got
then
Rangers.
If you're right,
I look like an absolute hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Rangers beating the Bruins in the Eastern Conference final, and then I think Edmonton's going to be lifting the cup, and they're going to beat the Rangers in 6. and Stuart Skinner is going to bring him to the promised land, along with McDavid's 100 points in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
He scored 150 and 82. He can score 107, right?
Yeah.
Win
They said it
6?
couldn't be done.
Yeah. We'll shove it to them.
I'll show you.
Yeah. But boys, this has been an absolute time and a half. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm very looking forward to these playoffs. I think it's going to be really entertaining. But Ian, where can the people find you?
Instagram and Twitter at Ian McNaughty. At Ian McNaughty. So I had to think about that for a second. My socials really now are just like 70% manners, 20% bullshit, and then like 10% like actual like cool stuff. That's what my social is. So if you're interested in that, if that's something you are interested in taking part in, go follow me. I think we're doing pods again this summer. I want to do pods this summer, bringing back SYP. You can follow us on Instagram at SYP Pod. I think we're going to do that. Not confirmed, not official, but want to do that. So we'll let you know when that happens. But yeah, if you're looking for some good, summer manners takes, I'm your guy.
Your Twitter's been hot recently.
It's been in fuego.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Hayden would appreciate the Spanish, but he's not here, so
He doesn't know a lick of it. Kid's dumb as a bag of rocks.
No.
He probably thought.
Yeah. Leche? 3 milk cake? Dummy.
Not as good as trout. Am I right?
Nothing's as good as trout, baby.
Nothing's as good
Best
as
tea food.
Corey, where can the people follow you?
Yeah, I just figured out, because I was double checking. If you look up, like on Twitter, if you look up Cory Letendre without an underscore, it's a very different Cory Letendre. It's some good. It's like proud papa of 2 kids. It's like, that ain't me.
that ain't Big Tasty.
You gotta put an underscore in there.
Yeah.
That's how you find it.
Cory underscore Letendre.
Oh, you guys switch places real quick on me there on the screen. It was very confusing.
Oh,
Couple of ghosts.
Yeah, we were trying to keep you on your toes.
Yeah. On the butt.
You could follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftsideHeavy_. And subscribe to the Left Side Heavy YouTube, where you can find full video podcasts. For some reason, last episode cut off at 30 minutes. So it was only 30 minutes of video. So that sucks. I went to go stop the recording on my phone, and my screen was black, and I had to unlock my phone. I'm like, well, I don't think the video went that long.
All's well that ends well.
Yeah, if this is the case. This is second or third time it's happened, but first time in a while. So I thought I was safe from that dumb little thing that Apple does, but it's sonked me. So that's unfortunate. But playoffs. Technology is superior. Yeah, that does it for this episode. Playoffs start tonight, I guess, as this episode comes out, but it starts tomorrow. I don't know what teams are on the first slate, but my butt will be watching the games. Mama and Papa Lefave bought me a ticket to Game 4 between Winnipeg and Vegas, so I'm very excited for that. So I'll be going to that.
Yeah. That'll be exciting.
On the evening of the 24th. I'll just be getting to experience playoff atmosphere for the first time since 2015. So it'll be magical, baby.
Woo.
It'll be magical. But Ian, Cory, thank you so much for coming on once again. And enjoy the playoffs, everybody. Peace.
Have a good one, bud.